So how the Bible communicates what individualism is and community is that a lot of times when we are moving into Scripture and we talk about community, we talk about individualism, we have to remember that God created us individually. So there's a beautiful part of us being individuals. Like there's uniqueness, we have our identity that way. Where I think the challenge comes in is at the fall, when sin was introduced into mankind, we started looking as individuals and started having self-focus and started really thinking about myself over others. And so I think the beautiful part about when God created us, he created us as man and woman with Adam and Eve. And then from there, he really wanted to help develop us as a community interdependent upon one another. And so how do I take my gifts and the things I can do and assist you or work with you or show compassion and love towards you or towards my other fellow brother or sister? And what sin had done is that it created an identity towards myself. What can you give me? How can I get what I want from you? So it's always extracting from others the things that I want for myself, instead of how can I bless you? How can I help you? And I think the thing that we see specifically in the New Testament and through Revelation and other scriptures is God's always trying to bring individuals from different backgrounds, different ethnicities, different languages, different geographic locations, and he's really trying to bring them back into center, which is how do we have interdependence and love for one another in spite of my own maybe personal needs. I think in that space, you really see the beauty of God's church, is that there are people from all types of backgrounds serving and worshiping the same God. That is what community means. It means people that have common unity. So when we see people that have a common unity centered around Jesus, you see flourishing. And in that space where you have unhealthy individualism, you actually have more people in isolation, people coming into depression and other challenges. And so what the church, I believe, is really seeking to do through God's provision is really trying to bring back a sense of community, which is, well, it's on our dollar bill, e pluribus unum, out of the many one. And that's what the church is working to do in that sense, is that there's all these different diversity of people with different individual giftings and specialities and identities, but we all work together. We're all in rhythm with one another, trying to bless others within the church. And my thought is that the church really has to become a beacon of light and hope in this idea of interdependence and common unity with one another, so that that is the light. That's the lighthouse, right? That's where we are, the city on the hill. We're the light in the room. We are that place where people are drawn to because of all the diversity and all the individualism that we bring. We bring a unity together. And I think that's the beauty and the opportunity that the church has for us. And so in my blog post, really trying to write out and flesh out scripturally, what does that actually mean? What is Jesus trying to get after with his disciples when he takes all of these diverse backgrounds and he brings them into this unity of 12? And he shows a better way of living. He shows a better way of community. He shows a better way of kingdom building. And that is, in a sense, what we see in Revelation. We see the kingdom coming to fruition when you have all of these different backgrounds, all of these different ethnicities, all these different languages coming together in worship and in song. And I think that is where the church really has the opportunity to really shine in this idea of what individualism is, because I bring my gifts to the table like a potluck. I bring my gifts to the table and people get nourished from it. And so in my mind, that is the healthier version of individualism in community.